Hey guys, it's finally time. I'm recording this video 9 hours before the release of the game, and finally I'm gonna have an account that doesn't get wiped because I already participated in true beta, so my account got deleted 2 times. Finally I can play the game without having to worry about losing all my progress. So we're gonna have the last video before the official release, which is the tier list. Now keep in mind this is a PvE tier list, so it's for progression. PvE is not for PvP. PvP at first is just gonna be speed meta, so whoever is faster, it's most likely they're gonna win. Then when people start to farm Aurora and get immunity set, finally we can move on and start to have more interesting composition. But until then, PvP is just gonna be a speed contest, so we are going to focus on PvE. Now, tier lists are kind of like biased towards personal preference of the person making it, so of course I'm not gonna say my tier list is objective, but before making the tier list I also watch again all the material I have about all the top performing team from the final beta for Inferno and Hell IV Threshold and Green Pursuit, so I try to be a little bit more objective, but let's be real, this is biased on my opinion. So on double S tier we have obviously Heinrich, Lily and Mio. At this point, I don't really think I have to explain to you why. I would say that Mio, probably I would have put her in like S tier before, but now after we got the nerf on Marvel and also Kraken, but especially the S3 of Marvel, it's basically they nerfed everything with a turn meter control in this game, so that Mio is the best possible character when it comes to that. So of course I'm forced to put Mio in SS tier because I don't have any alternative now. They nerfed literally everybody else that could do something similar to her. So, again, this is the 3 character that you should aim for your reroll. Any of them is good really for progression. Of course, you can do based on your personal preference. I already talked about reroll in another video. For me, I would personally go for Heinrich, but all 3 of them are amazing, so you cannot go wrong. Pick just one of them if you're rerolling. And if not, you're like me and you went for rebate, you just don't like to spend time rerolling. Good luck to us because it's not necessary to progress in the game, but if you find one of these 3, it's your account is good to go. Then we have S tier. Now, how does this tier list work and what did I put in S tier? S tier I put character that, in my opinion, are the best for progression when it comes to the main threshold, and they are all DPS. Now, let's talk first about Lian. Lian is the free DPS that everybody's gonna get after the tutorial. In my opinion, she's the best one that you can invest when it comes to Terrormaton, and the reason is very simple. In every beta that we ever had in the last 2 years that the game has been in development, everybody always had Lian for free. Everybody tested Lian, everybody made team with Lian. We know, we have like all the data possible, imaginable when it comes to this character. We know she's good, we know it's good to invest into her. Now, is she the only option when it comes to Terrormaton? No. There are other options like Victor and Dieting, and guess what? They're also in this S tier. Then there is also, you can say, okay, but I can also build a Chloros for Terrormaton. Why Chloros is not S tier? Chloros is a big gamble. Even if he got buffed 2 times now, I would say, how many people did try Chloros in Inferno and Hard 4? There were a bunch of team doing that, but overall, if you don't want to use Lian for whatever reason, I would say Victor and Dieting are much easier to build, much more, like people use them much more, so we already know for sure as a fact that they're good in both Terrormaton and also Aurora. So, can you build Chloros as a replacement? Yes, you can. Is it worth it? I mean, unless you really like the character, no. Chloros is more something for PvP, in my opinion. He's good. He's like now by statistic is the best single target damage in the game, I think. But again, Lian is tested and proven by everybody. We know she's good, and that's it. Then we have Rosa. Again, Rosa. In every video I make, I say, okay, but you need to invest into Rosa, blah blah blah. Yes, that is true. I still defend my opinion. But still, once you build Rosa, she's an absolute machine for killing everything, not only in Aurora, but also for Green Pursuit, she was being used a lot. So, again, like Lian, we know that Rosa is good. Does she require more investment compared to Lian? Yes. But Aurora is also the threshold that you play at the end. Like, it's not as early game as Terrormaton and Doki Doki. Let me just put it this way. So definitely very good character. Also not only for PvE, but eventually also for PvP. And not only for Threshold, but for also everything, like Green Pursuit included, when it comes to high difficulty Green Pursuit. So again, you need to build her, but she's very good once you build her. So it's not like you're gonna regret it. Then we have Rilmoka. Rilmoka, again, especially now after Tiamat got nerfed. In my opinion, she is the best DPS for Doki Doki. And this is reason enough to put her in S tier, because Doki Doki is going to be super important for early game progression, because she's going to drop all the speed gear that you need. Then we have Victor and Dieting. Now you could say, okay, but they are SR. Why you put them at the same tier as SSR character? Because they are that good. Even if Victor got nerfed, so arguably now Dieting it's probably a little bit better. They're both amazing. They do require them, like they do require you to invest into their skill and make them level 5. Maybe Victor you can just get away with just 2 skill out of 3 with level 5. Dieting is more like all 3 of the skill level 5 to be like on the top of his game, but they're ridiculously good for being SR. And at some point in the game, especially if you want to farm fast, you're gonna need 2 DPS. So for example, in Tormaton, you could have Lian and Dieting or Lian and Victor. You could also do Victor and Dieting as 2 DPS in a team. So definitely they are super good considering that they are SR. And for this reason, I feel like they can easily be put into the S tier. Now we're gonna move A tier. A tier is all those characters that are gonna make your life easier. They're not as mandatory as the S tier. Like, ideally for game progression, you're gonna need at least one of at least 2 of these characters. Like I would say Real Mocha for sure for Doki Doki, and then for Aurora you're gonna need at least Dieting or Rosa. For Tormato you're gonna need at least Lian or Victor or Dieting. So these characters are kind of like mandatory. These characters are not mandatory, but not like any one of them specifically, but it's mandatory for you to have some of these characters to progress in the game. So this is why they are in the A tier. Now I already talked about all of them in my previous video, so I'm gonna try to be very fast. Supporting character Biontin and Kloss in my opinion are the best one. Freya got nerfed a little bit, but she's still very good. I don't know why people are talking shit about this character. She was in literally almost every team in L4 and Inferno of Threshold Green Pursuit. Like everybody was using this character. She's very good. So I don't really see why people shit on this character. I'm definitely gonna roll for Freya. In the official, Linglo is amazing and overall is very important for Aurora. I would say mandatory for Aurora. Then we have Elkid, very solid character. Shield is still a very good mechanic in the game, and he also has a good damage, he has a stun, so definitely a good bruiser. Then we have Born and Rahu, same thing as Elkid. Born got buffed, they actually both got buffed in the last patch note. They were already good, now they're even better. Again, they're not as good as the character in S tier when it comes to damage and when it comes to early game progression, but they're definitely gonna have their place to shine in end game, mostly for Rakuborn. You can actually use him from early game. I'm a little bit worried he's gonna, as I always mention, that he's gonna fall off a little bit in the late game, and then you're gonna need a second DPS to pair up with him, but still very solid character. Xiada, very good. She just take a little bit longer to build up the damage and be effective compared to the people, like to the character DPS in the S tier, but she's still very good choice. Sanya, she got nerfed 2 times, but she's still quite good in my opinion, even if not as good as before, but still very solid choice, especially until you have Linglo. Then we have Grey, super good character, you get it for free, and he can be built as a hybrid DPS. He has a lot of good stuff in the skill, like the crit rate, the debuff for the defense, and he also has very good damage, so it's very good character. He pair up very well with Real Mocha for Doki Doki too, so very good, worth the investment in my opinion. Then we have Chiaki, the cheap version of Freya. If you just don't want to roll for Freya and you still need some Tormentor control plus the buff, Chiaki is gonna do just fine. Then we have Marvel. Despite the nerf, I will still think that Marvel is good. I will have to test him. Again, as I mentioned before, I think unless I find Mio, I will build Marvel anyway. In the official, even if he got nerfed, and then we're gonna see how we perform. If I don't like him anymore, I'm gonna reset, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Then we have Kraken and Kazuyo. I put them nearby. So this is not a particular order, like this is not the best one, this is not the worst one. I just put them all in the same tier. How good a character is depends on so many factors, and mostly how much, like what is the team that you're building, how much you invested into the character and stuff like that, the mode. So it's difficult to put an order because it depends on the situation. But as I was saying, Kraken and Kazuyo are absolutely very good CC character, even if Kraken got a little bit nerfed. I would say, in my opinion, Kraken is the best one until you reach Doki Doki Inferno. At that point, Kazuyo is just better because you need to push with that extra damage that she offers with the sleep debuff. But they're both amazing, really. You cannot go wrong if you invest into any one of these 2 characters. And Dinah, as we all know, she's the queen of debuff for single target damage. She's the one that you want in your team to make sure that your DPS is gonna do as much damage as possible to any boss in the game. She got nerfed for the Tormeter, but nobody really care about Dinah Tormeter control. Like you're gonna use her for the skill 3 debuff, not also the skill 2. You're not gonna use her for the Tormeter anyway, so it's not a big deal. Now, B tier is character that are good, but are not as important as the character from A tier and S tier. Like, let's play a game. If I find only character in the A tier and S tier, I can still reach and clear Inferno into everything without having to use any character in B tier. If I only find character in B tier and I don't find anything in A tier, which is kind of impossible because Grey and Linglo are free, but let's just pretend something happened to the account and I don't have them. With only the character from B tier and C tier, I don't think, I'm not confident that I could clear Inferno of any mode, probably. So this is why they are B tier. And some of them, they are like late bloomer, they're gonna be super strong in PvP and endgame, like Veronica, Masaya, Doki Doki, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's overall, they're not as good and as important as the character above them. Now we have Sanya, Fungus, and Double, this damage over time team. If you put all of them together, they're very good, but it's kind of expensive to build them, so unless you really want to go for damage over time team, I wouldn't really say they are higher tier than these. Then we have Young Viper. These characters are like situational. If you need a stripper and you don't have any other character that is above them, then you're gonna use them. Viper is also very good in PvP, in my opinion. But overall, for game progression, if you, for example, reroll and have Heinrich, you're not gonna need them, so it's not that important to have them. It's just like more like an emergency pick in case you don't have anything better. Veronica is kind of the same. Veronica is gonna shine the most in PvP, so that's why she's here. Number 41, she got nerfed a little bit. Would I put her in A tier if she wasn't nerfed? I'm not sure. I still think it's again, number 41 is one of those characters that she's very good if you're in a situation where you don't have any better option, like you need some push from her skill tree and you don't have any other character that can do that. Number 41 then is good. Otherwise, I wouldn't really invest into her. I wouldn't really use them. Not that you really need to invest into her that much, but yeah, I would say ideally I would still spend my time and resource on character above her. If then I don't have some of them that I really need, then she's a good emergency pick. But other than that, she's B tier. Then Kazami is the same as number 41, really. Especially, I mean, she's more for the cooldown reduction, but the situation and the reason when and why I want to use Kazami is the same as number 41. I love Masaya. He was my favorite DPS for PvP in the final beta, but again, he's for PvP. I did make a team for Doki Doki L4 with Masaya. You can find a short in my channel where I show you that team and the clear, but again, it was not the best option possible, and when it comes to Terrormaton and Aurora, you don't really need Masaya. So I would say very good if you like him, you can go for him. I wouldn't say roll for the rate up, I would say save your resource and go for the rate up in case they put Heinrich, Lily, or Mio, because they're gonna be more important than him. But yeah, if you want to go for Masaya, very good character, but just keep in mind it's more for late game and PvP. Doki Doki, same stuff. Tiamat, she was the queen of early game progression. Now she got nerfed 2 times. This reason I decided to put her into B tier because now she required too many things to be practical. Like she lost a lot of survivability. She lost a little bit of damage, a little bit of everything really with the last 2 nerfs that she got. One after the final beta, one before the final beta. So I feel like they're really trying to push this character back, and also because they're nerfing the best partner that she had, which was Sanya. For this reason, she's in B tier now. Tsukiyomi again is like Masaya. I really like this character. I think she's very good, but I found myself using her more for late game stuff and also PvP when I build her in the final beta, so I wouldn't really advise to go for her when it comes to early game progression. She's not as good as the character above her. Then we have Lilith, kind of like the same stuff as everybody else in this tier. She's good, but not that good for early game progression. Mia, same stuff. Chloros, same stuff. Also, Chloros is probably gonna be much better when it comes to PvP than PvE. Then we have Valerian. I really like Valerian, but Valerian is the kind of pick that you want when you're out of option. Like you need some extra survivability and you don't have anything that can fit your current team, then you can put Valerian. She fit into almost any team in any mode. But it's not a character that make your team stronger or like improve your damage and stuff like that. She just make you survive more if you have problem with that. So eventually when you build up your character properly and you level up the skill and you give them like the proper module, upgrade the module, the shell and everything, you are gonna use Valerian less and less, which is what happened to me also in the final beta. So that's why she's in B tier, even if I think she's an amazing character. And everything that is in C tier is, I mean, did you see any good performing team like top of the ranking in PvE when it comes to like that was using this character? The answer is no, and I know because I have the screenshot of global, so don't lie to me. And this is why they are in C tier. Like, can you use them? Yes, but it's kind of like a waste of resource. And I know there's like, oh no, but Gacha is very good if you do this particular combo. Yes, but you're not gonna do that combo in Doki Doki Inferno or Terrormaton Inferno or Aurora Inferno, and you wanna farm that for early game progression and PvE progression. So it's yeah, Gacha can be good in PvP, but again, this is not PvP tier list. And That's it really. And then when it comes to D tier, like I don't think I have to explain anything. They're just the rare character. I didn't include in the video Oyan because again we still don't know what her kit is gonna look like and if she's gonna be available at launch. I think not. And Mizuki is the same. Like she's gonna be available. We know that, but we don't know the kit properly. We know she has the spell, which potentially she could be very very good. At least B tier, maybe even A tier. But again, we didn't have a chance to try and we don't know the full kit. So for now, I'm gonna leave her there. But I would say ideally she's gonna be B tier or A tier, depending on how good is the strip in Aurora. And that's it really for the tier list video. I try to keep it as short as possible because I know usually if I start to yap like about every character in detail, it's gonna take forever. I don't want to make 1 hour video. I hope it was useful. If it was, remember to subscribe and like the video. And I hope to see you in the future for the official launch and all the video that I will make about progression there. And yeah, man, I'm so excited for this game. Finally, it took so long, but it's finally time to play. Whew, let me know in the comment how you feel about the game, how you feel about the tier list. I know, again, it's biased toward my personal preference, but it is what it is. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye, and enjoy the game.